If you've been wondering what that feeling is, there's one word to describe it, and that word is labor. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever symptoms you have been experiencing lately, I'm here today to relieve you, to let you know that this thing you've been feeling is the working of something brand new being birthed in your life. Now, for some of you guys, you may be going through labor pains. For some of you guys, you may be having contractions where things seem to be good and then things seem to be painful and then things seem to be okay and then here comes another contraction, okay? And some of you guys, you may just feel like you are in one big ball of confusion, like what is really happening? But wherever you are on the spectrum, just know and understand that in a little while, you're going to see a major breakthrough. But before you see that major breakthrough, let's get more of an understanding of what's happening right now. Now, I had a really, let's just say, important dream. This dream is important because it carries information that's going to help you push through. Literally, you're going to be pushing through to bring this thing into creation or to bring it to new life. So I'm going to tell you the dream, then I'm going to come back and I'm going to break down how this could apply to you and your life. So let's get into this dream. So you had been feeling kind of funny and you thought it was the flu, maybe you had some aches and pains in your body and you couldn't quite figure out what was going on. Now, this pain or these feelings, they came and they went. One day they was there, one day they was not. And over time, you grew more and more concerned. Why am I feeling like this? So you decide, I guess it's time for me to go to the emergency room. You go to the emergency room and the room is swamped. There are so many people there and everybody has an issue and a problem and they all need help from one doctor. So after you register, they tell you, yeah, it's going to be a few hours. You're going to be waiting for at least 4 hours. And that's when a phone in the waiting room rang. And the nurse said, it's for you. So you pick up this random phone and it's the doctor, the head doctor, the best doctor at the hospital. And aside from the fact that this doctor had so many other people to see, the doctor contacted you ahead of everybody. The doctor said, okay, well, I looked over everything and the baby looks good. The baby is healthy. And you said, oh, the baby. Oh, I'm pregnant. That's why I feel like this. And then you start thinking, but when did I get pregnant? Like, I didn't do anything to get pregnant. Why would I be pregnant? So you're still listening to the head doctor tell you, listen, the baby is cool, it's growing right, but there's just one thing. The reason why it seems to be so painful is because of the way that you are carrying the baby. That was the end of the dream. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. It was a quick dream, what seems to be simple dream, but this dream, like I told you, is very important. The issue was not that you were pregnant. It was the way that the baby was being carried. Okay, so we're going to be taking a closer look at that today to see if we can relieve some pressure. Okay, we're also going to be talking about the fact that maybe some of y'all didn't even know you was pregnant. And what are you pregnant with? Is it a girl? Is it a boy? Like, what's happening? Okay, how far along are you? So I'm going to be jumping into some details about it. Okay, but you guys are going to be choosing from the babies today. Okay, you're going to choose the baby that you feel most drawn to. And of course, you can listen to all of them because you might find some golden nuggets of information. And each and every single one of them is just the number that you choose might be a little bit more highlighted in your life at this time. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get to these messages. If you chose number one, you got the symptoms, right? When you are bringing, I want to just clarify, we're talking about a spiritual baby, okay? Before you find out that you're spiritually pregnant, you have the symptoms first, okay? This is what's alerting you to you're about to have a baby. So for some of you guys, your symptoms are not necessarily punishment. Your symptoms are not really like negative. Your symptoms are to get your attention. Hey, listen. It's about time you start setting up a nursery. It's about time you get a crib. You need some bottles. Okay. If you out there spending your money, like, listen, you finna have a whole kid. You gonna need that money for the kid. Okay. For your baby or whatever. And we're talking about a spiritual baby. Okay. Your gift, your skill, your talent, your project, whatever it is that you're giving birth to. Some of y'all didn't even know you was giving birth. Right. So this is, again, what the symptoms are for. Again, they're not to hurt you. They're not to scare you, but you have to become aware. If there's a baby being born, and you don't know it, somebody got to tell you, okay? So if you chose number 1, what are your symptoms? And try to really understand, what are my symptoms trying to tell me? For some of you guys, you may have been getting signs, right? Okay, for example, you know how sometimes you can have a physical ailment or something can be going on and you get on the internet, right? So you think you kind of have a clue, you get into it, but it's so many things that it could be that you can't find the relief because you don't know which answer is right. So today, you're going to find out specifically that it's because something is coming. And this is why you're having symptoms. So again, if you chose number 1, it's all about recognizing the signs, the symptoms, so that you can be alerted to what's about to happen, what's coming in for you. And what's coming in for you is beautiful. I mean, it's a whole new baby. You know what I'm saying? Babies are cute. You know, they be whining and stuff. You got to change diapers and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you're going to have to take care of whatever blessing is coming in for you. But at the same time, it starts with the symptoms. So now you can get prepared for that. Okay. So that's what I get for number 1. Pay attention to the symptoms, pay attention to the signs so they can lead you to some answers and you can get yourself ready. Okay. And in the midst of being ready, you can have a little bit more relief because at least you know what's happening. All right. Let's go ahead and let's get to the next one. If you chose number 2, you got emergency, kind of, because number 2 is you think it's an emergency. You think something is really, really wrong here. You know something is different, okay? When you're pregnant and you're going through these symptoms, okay, or you're spiritually pregnant and you're having this spiritual warfare and you having, these things happen in your reality, seems like things falling apart. You thinking to yourself, this is an emergency. When in actuality, you're about to get some news. You're about to learn something that will make you say, emergency, miracle? You're going to be a little confused, okay? You think that something is falling apart. You think something is being taken away. You think, oh, this spiritual warfare trying to really take me out. But little do you know, it's driving you to get to the place where you can receive the phone call so you can get the information, okay? This is all about like leading you somewhere, just like going through the process of being pregnant. It's all leading up to the birth. So it may seem like an emergency. It may seem like everything's going haywire, but in actuality, it's getting you to a place so that you can get information that will cause you to be relieved, okay? So if you chose number 2, the things that are happening in your life, the things that you feel like are out of control, it's not what you think. One thing about either our own low vibrational thoughts or, thoughts from the devil, low vibrational entities, they will love to plant thoughts in your mind, or we ourselves love to just immediately sometimes go for the worst case scenario. Your throat hurt. Oh my God, I got throat cancer. You know what I'm saying? Your head hurt. Oh my God, I'm finna have a brain aneurysm. Like something that you don't know can be very scary, the unknown. And in your mind, it may register as an emergency because you don't know what's happening. But when you went to the emergency room, okay, you took some action. It's like, I'm looking for some answers. I need to know the truth. This is where you learned what you needed to know, okay? So if you chose number 2, it's not that big of an emergency, but whatever it is that you find out, whatever information that's coming in, it might leave you a little confused trying to figure out, is this an emergency or is this a miracle? Okay, so that's what I get for number 2. Let's go ahead and get to the last one. If you chose number 3, you got top priority, okay? In the dream, you walk into the emergency room, it's swamped, it's filled with so many people. Everybody got an issue, everybody got a problem, everybody need help, right? They tell you at the registration desk, listen, baby, it's going to be a good, 4 hours before you can see the head doctor. And just like that, you get a phone call. This means a few things. Number one, I don't want to say now, like nobody's better than the other. But remember I told you this dream was important? That's because this word applies to you. Whatever baby you're carrying is important, right? Have you ever seen at the hospital where it could be all these people, the hospital could be filled, but if one pregnant lady walk in, they taking her back first. She gets priority over everybody. Her case is just a little bit more special than your sniffles and your cough and your flu. Okay, no disrespect to nobody who sick or going through got the little sniffles or whatever. But in reality, in a real hospital, if she come in pregnant and she talking about I got an issue with this baby inside of me, she's gonna walk through first. All these people gonna have to wait. Okay, and this is the same thing spiritually. Because you are pregnant with God's baby or this thing that God has put in you to be birthed onto this earth, you take precedence over a lot of other things. You are very, very important to God. And it ain't like a throwaway, like, oh, I'm going to take care of you because you're pregnant. As soon as you have that baby, I'm out. Nah, it's more like I'm going to take care of you through pregnancy and all throughout the life of yourself and whatever it is that I place inside of you that's about to be birthed. Okay. So yeah, you might feel a little special. You should feel a little special, okay? If I went to a hospital and they said you gotta wait 4 hours, and next thing you know, I'm getting a phone call and all these people I get to skip, yeah, I'm gonna feel a little special, okay? So if you chose number 3, you are top priority. You are God's top priority during this time, okay? You're being taken care of, and this is the other part. You didn't have to walk to the back. You didn't have to go to a room. You didn't have to be examined. You didn't have to put on one of the little gowns with the back open up. Like, you didn't have to do that. You showed up, which means you was ready to get some answers. This is an emergency, I think. And then you showed up. And when you got there, the head doctor already knew you was coming. The head doctor already knew you were pregnant. The head doctor already knew the way you was carrying the baby. Okay, so you're being observed, you're being watched, you're being monitored by God, by the angels, okay, by whoever or whatever was assigned to you to be your midwife or whatever, your nurse. You're being watched and observed because you are top priority. You got more eyes on you, spiritual eyes, God's eyes at this time. And the questions that you have, like, why am I going through this? What's really happening? I need to know why, God. I know I'll be like that sometimes. Like, if you want me to move forward, I got to know why. I got to know this. I got to know. I got to know. Okay. I'm one of them people. I ask 1,000,005 questions. Right. And if you anything like me, you probably been sitting around trying to figure out what is going on. Okay. And this is your answer. Date. It is being revealed. You are pregnant. So remember, don't feel bad or fill in the blank. Don't feel whatever the low vibrational energy that you feel, right? Replace it with, now I am aware. I am aware of what my symptoms was trying to tell me. I am aware that it's not necessarily an emergency the way my mind blew it up. I am aware that I am spiritually pregnant. I'm finna give something I'm finna birth something into physical reality. And I am aware that the head doctor has me as priority. And he already knows my symptoms, how far along I am, and what's happening. You dig? So that's what I give number 3. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't stop here. I got a few more things to break down over on Patreon. So click the link in the description box and head on over to Patreon and choose at least the supporters tier. And you can see the extended of these vibes as well as some of the other videos that I have posted up there. Okay. So thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you as one of my subscribers. Follow me on my other social medias. And again, I appreciate you all. So see you in the next video.